So I want to continue the conversation on inspired action. So if you have not watched the first video on inspired action, I really encourage you to go watch it and then come back and join us in video 2, because video 1 really explains what inspired action is and why it's important in your life and how to get to a place of taking inspired action. It also shares with you why most people don't. Anyway, so once you've watched that and you're ready to begin, this is video 2 on inspired action. And I'm going to share with you one of my stories on inspired action. And this has nothing to do with business or money, but I have to tell you, it was one of those things that really made an impact in my life. A few weeks ago, I was walking into a restaurant and there was this woman in front of me and she had a really pretty sweater on, and I just said to her, "Wow, that's a beautiful sweater." And she turned around and she smiled at me, and it really affected me. She was an older lady, maybe in her late 60s, early 70s, and she was alone. And so I just walked in behind her and she got a table and I got a table, and I thought maybe she was meeting someone, but as I watched her, I noticed that she was alone. And no one ever did come to meet her. But as I watched her, she just glowed. Like, she just had love emanating from her. And she looked like she was having lunch with her very best friend in the whole wide world, but no one was there but her. And I was just curious about her. And so I went to get up and go introduce myself, and she was already gone. And I thought, oh, dang it. Like, I really should have, introduced myself to this woman sooner. I really wanted to meet her. I felt really drawn to her. And I thought about her for days and just remembered what it looked like watching her and just the love that was emanating from her. And I thought about her many, many, many times over the couple of weeks. And I thought, well, I'll go back to that same restaurant at the same time and I'll find her. And, I was just kind of obsessed with it. And then one day, I was finishing up at the gym, and all of a sudden I just got really tired. And I thought, I should run to the grocery store and get some smoothie stuff so I can make a protein shake and some spinach and strawberries to put in it. And I do not ever go to the grocery store after I go to the gym, and it was just a strange thing, but I felt really inspired to go to the grocery store and get this stuff. So as I'm walking into the grocery store, I walk by this woman and my brain says, "That's her." And it was this voice in my head. I hadn't even really noticed the lady. And I stopped and I looked at her and I said, "Were you in this restaurant a couple of weeks ago with an orange sweater on and I walked up behind you?" And she said, "Yes. Oh, I remember you." And it was the craziest thing because it was the same woman that I had been wanting to find for weeks. And there she was, almost like she was waiting for me at the grocery store. It was a perfect series of events that just led to that moment. And we became really good friends. And I said, "You really inspired me that day because you just were emanating with love." And I said, "It looked like you were having lunch with your best friend, even though you were alone." And she said, "Oh, my husband must have been there with me. He died a few years ago and I really miss him." And it just really warmed my heart. So it was one of those inspired actions that I had been pushing and pushing and thinking logically, oh, I'll find this woman and go back to the same restaurant at the same time every week and she'll be there. And I didn't need to do that at all, because right at the perfect moment, the universe aligned us and I walked into the grocery store and there she was. And that's how easy it is. That's how easy everything that you want to create in your life and everything that you want to achieve and everything that you want to do, it can happen with flow and ease. And the universe will just align you with exactly the situation you need to be in if you'll just listen, if you'll just stay inspired, if you'll just do the things that you feel in your heart drawn to do when you get those feelings. So don't doubt yourself. Just stay with it. And I can't wait to hear how this works out in your life, but it really has reminded me in such a positive way about the importance of taking inspired action and really listening to our gut and following our heart. And just from there, everything is so much easier and just flows into our life. So I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.